Hello, everybody. This is Jimmy, and you're reading with Jimmy. This is the quick take. This is the 10-minute version of Sir Topas's Tale, one of the Canterbury tales. We're reading a lot of Canterbury tales on my website. The subtitle of this quick take, 10-minute quick take, is Playfulness, Parody, and Self-Exposure. Don't take that the wrong way. 10-minute breakdown. Welcome, everybody. What if I told you that one of the shortest tales, this is really one of the shortest tales in the Canterbury Tales, is also one of the funniest? And it's funny because it's bad on purpose. It's kind of funny, but yet it's not funny. It's a weird tale, ladies and gentlemen. But more important, it's the only one where we meet our anonymous narrator firsthand. This is the guy who's telling us all these stories about what these pilgrims are saying. This is a great opportunity to meet the anonymous narrator who's never named firsthand. It's called the Sir Thopas story, which is a weird tale, but it exposes our anonymous narrator. It really shows us who the guy that's been telling us all these tales. We get a little glimpse of him, and that's important because, like we see in here, we are all first-person narrators in the tale of life. We're all kind of on a pilgrimage, aren't we? And anyway, welcome to Reading with Jimmy's Quick Takes. This is my 10-minute version of Sir Thopas. I give you this little tidbit, so you come on down and read it with me on my website, www.readingwithjimmy.com, or on my YouTube channel. Let's begin. So what the heck's the story? Well, it's a fictional fairy tale landscape. It's kind of like, wow, it's a no, it's not science fiction, but it's a fairy tale, kind of like I don't know, not as good as J.R.R. Tolkien, but part of the forest fantasy right out of medieval romance cliches. We have a main character in the story called Sir Thopas. He's a knight and he's perfect, he's chivalrous, and he's kind of boring. And we have the elf queen, by the way, who we never really meet, but he decides he wants to love the elf queen. Then we have somebody called Sir Elephant, which is a giant knight who challenges Topaz to a fight. And what is the plot? Well, so Topaz rides out to find the elf queen. He dreams of her beauty, arms himself for the quest, encounters Sir Elephant. But before anything actually happens, the host, who's the host? The host is there and all these things. Remember, he's the guy that's going to be judging the tales and gets a good big dinner for the one he judges to have the best tale. He interrupts the anonymous narrator and says, "This is all droggle. This is bull," and he wants another story. It's kind of anticlimactic, but it forces us to pardon me, what the heck is going on? What is going on here? Right? I mean, it's kind of stupid, but what is going on here? Well, this is Chaucer's anonymous narrator. Why is he telling us this particular story? Why does the host get angry about him and say, "Stop, stop, this is all BS"? Well, he fills the tale with repetitive rhymes, stock images. It's really boring. Now, why is Jimmy asking you to read a boring story with him? Well, because it's going to give you a glimpse about the anonymous narrator who tells us all the rest of the tales. Narration in classical literature is one of the most important concepts you'll ever get. Narration. It translates directly into real life. Why do you tell people what you tell them? Why do people tell you what they tell you? Do you tell people everything you want to tell them, or do you hold things back? Do they hold things back? This narration in life, as in classical literature, is very important. That's why when you read Sir Thopas, you get to meet the guy who's telling us all these tales. Very important. Some of the themes that come out, well, it's a kind of a satire genre. Sir Thopas, that's a big word, genre. Sir Thopas mocks the overblown romances of the time, showing how silly they can be. But that's really not the essence of this tale. We're in the story. The anonymous narrator tells us this story, and we get a taste of what he's like. What does he look like? Why does he say what he does? For example, he travels and he travels separate from the others a lot. You'll hear that in the tale. You get clues to his personality, just like you do in real life when you're talking to people. They don't come out and tell you exactly what they are all the time. You got to get clues from what they say and how they say it. So the analysis of Sir Thopas, which I encourage you to read after you read the tale with me, will dive into how these observers, how you're an observer and I'm an observer in life, and how we change what we observe by being in the story. You know, ladies and gentlemen, if you weren't in the story, if you weren't here, it would be a different story. Well, that's pretty obvious, Jimmy. Is it? Did you ever think about that? Did you ever think about that? If you were not here, what would the story be? And since you are here, how do you shape stories? Did you ever lose a friend? Did you ever gain a friend? Did you ever think you had a friend and not have a friend? These are important things in life. Why does this still matter today? Because satire, it's funny, it ages well. We laugh at the spoofs and the parodies. Attention spans are finite. The host interrupts this guy because he's bored. You turn the channel, you switch stations, you stop listening. You know, listening is an art. Can you be a 100% listener, or have you just tuned Jimmy out? Come back and listen to me. Self-deception is timeless. In an age of curated images, self-promotion, selfies. Yeah, can I get a selfie? This is crazy. If you think about it, how crazy this is about social media, where you're telling people something that who cares what you think and what you wear and what you, yeah, think about that. Are you a trendsetter or do you follow trends? What's the saying? Lead, follow, or get out of the way? This is profound classical literature, and it teaches us media literacy. So Topaz reminds us to pay attention to the position of narrators. In other words, when somebody's telling you something, ask yourself simple questions. Why am I being told this? Why am I being told? Well, I just got reviewed and he gave me a pretty good review. He said I was doing my job really well. Why is he telling you that? When in fact you're not, pardon me, you're not doing that well, in your opinion. To make you feel better, but what's the truth? What is the truth? A first person narrator shapes truth depending on him, on his prejudices, on his beliefs, just like you do, just like I do. I'm trying to give you a very good objective viewpoint, which is why in all my analysis, when you read the analysis with me, I'm going to tell you read the story for yourself. Don't just listen to my analysis, but read it for yourself. Calling all readers. That's Sir Topaz in 10 minutes. Don't stop there. You're on my website, readingwithjimmy.com, YouTube channel, Reading with Jimmy. So come on down and read the tale of your choice. And I want you to think about this before you leave today. What is the truth? What is the truth? It's a pretty simple question. It's what I believe is the truth, Jimmy. No, it's not. Truth is a different word. It's an interesting word. That's why this Sir Thopas tale about narration tells you how to start figuring out the truth based on being an observer on a pilgrimage through life. So thanks for coming. Readingwithjimmy.com. YouTube channel, Reading with Jimmy. The QR code will take you right to the YouTube channel. And remember this, every tale that we read together, everything we read on here, whether it's Guy de Maupassant or Fyodor Dostoevsky, all the, Ernest Hemingway, all the classics that we read together on this website have comprehensive analysis with them. So you don't just read them, but you can think about them. The analysis are jumpstarting your own interpretations of the classics. The classics are here because they have stood the test of time. Stood the test of time. They're not cheap dime novels. They're not entertainment, although they're very funny. But they're here to make you think and how to lead your life, right? By looking at how these other people lead their lives. It's language charged with meaning. Thanks for coming. I hope you enjoy the Canterbury Tales. There's many of them. And don't forget to read, when it's posted, my comprehensive analysis of all the tales. In fact, come on down and read everything on my website. Stay here a long time. We want you here. Thanks for coming.